Hey, we're Saints. Welcome to our Crucifixonal Lifestream. Father Chris here. Glad to have you beautiful people with us as we celebrate Thanksgiving week. In a couple of days, we will celebrate the American holiday of Thanksgiving. I know other countries do similar feasts. They do them at different times, but this week is for the United States to celebrate the great Thanksgiving meal. Before we start and talk about the turkey itself, let's start with a beautiful verse from 2 Corinthians 2, which says, "But thanks be to God, for who in Christ always leads us in triumph." Give thanks to God for the triumph and the victory that Christ leads us. I love it. Thanksgiving is a great feast of turkey, right? I mean, that's what we think about. You remember pilgrims and Indians and everybody came together and shared bread, broke bread around the table. It's really a powerful story because we'll see tomorrow exactly how that was not just two peoples coming together, but in its essence having a divine origin. That first Thanksgiving, however many years ago that it happened, had a divine origin. First, before that at least, let's talk about the turkey itself. In my family, we've grown over the years. I mean, my mother has two brothers, and they had a bunch of kids, my age, my generation, right? My sister and I, and four cousins here and three cousins there. It was a pretty good group. And when my grandparents were still alive, it was probably, I don't know, there'd be 15 of us, right? And whoever was preparing that year or hosting would buy, and I don't know the numbers, but you'll get the point. Let's just say a 10-pound turkey, right? And everybody would eat from that turkey, and we'd all gather around the table. My grandfather at the head of the table, my uncles, my mom, all of our family, and we'd have a blast. Now, over time, we got married. My generation. And I think there are 9 cousins in my generation, my sister and I, and we have 7 cousins. We all got married, all of us, right? And then that meant there were 9 extra people. So that turkey had to become 15 pounds until we all started having babies, right? And then that Thanksgiving meal got even bigger, and that 15 became a 20. And the idea behind this is that you think about it, like you have the long table that everybody sits on Thanksgiving. And sometimes because there's so many, you have to have the kids' table. And what a glorious day when you graduate to the adult table, all that kind of stuff that's fun about Thanksgiving. But the key factor is we did not buy 2 10-pound turkeys as we grew to the 4th generation, right? Nobody does that. I mean, we buy a bigger turkey, right? Why is that? Because we all must eat together from that same turkey. Now, you may be saying, well, yes, Father, but we don't really eat a lot of turkey in our family because we like the other things that go with Thanksgiving. Maybe there's cultural dishes, or you prefer cranberries or mashed potatoes, whatever. But the idea is never that we have multiple turkeys. We have one turkey, because in that act of sharing from one meal, we become one family. Even in my particular family, we grew sometimes when we invited people who were not our blood relatives. Maybe people from our church community, or friends who were in town, or college students who didn't have the opportunity to go home for Thanksgiving with their families. And our table, which was large with my grandparents, my uncles and my mom, my generation, and our kids, now grew even bigger because we invited these people to our home, to our table. In that moment, though their last name on their driver's license may be different than ours, they were still a part of our family. We were all one at that table because we ate from the same turkey. This idea is powerful because, as I said, Thanksgiving, the origins with the Pilgrims and Indians, however long ago, has as its root a divine origin. And that divine origin we will explore tomorrow when we look at 1 Corinthians chapter 10. I want to put this in our minds because as you break bread with your family and hopefully with friends in a couple of days, remember that God is uniting all of us, even if our driver's licenses have different names. He is uniting us through that one common meal. Great stuff. We'll be back tomorrow. And as always, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.